For nature, lust is an urge to procreate. For humans, lust is desire for pleasure. The aim of this video is actual human bodily lust portrayed in art as the word is intended to convey, rather than abstract terms used in phrases like lust for power or lust for money. Pleasures are of various types, and here I'm talking only about pleasures derived from satisfaction of lust. Such pleasure, being transient, is an end in itself. It is a dead end. In a larger view of life, this kind of pleasure has no greater purpose. It's a trivial incentive for fulfilling Mother Nature's forceful urges. Yet our minds are largely preoccupied to acquire this transient pleasure. Plus, the pleasure derived from satisfaction of lust is most often followed by either meaningless emptiness or worse, guilt. Lust, pleasure, and guilt are a kind of a perpetual triad. In an earlier video, Passion in Art, we articulated passion as refined lust. Passion is refined in a sense that it brings about positive changes to the human mind, whereas lust, raw bodily lust, if not under control of mind, can wreak havoc. Lust is the biological force in its purest form. It's Mother Nature's most potent magical spell that works on all her creatures. Unlike other creatures who are lustful only during their reproductive period, humans can be lusty right from their bodily maturity till their last breath. And being more conscientious than other creatures, we have devised a variety of ways to sublimate our lust. Word lust, when uttered, itself connotes something forbidden, something largely looked upon with suspicion by civilized minds. Through various ways, we have either sanctified lust or demonized lust. We have mythologies, stories around lust, caution stories, and even pleasure stories, but I suspect there's probably more literature prohibiting lust than promoting it. Nature is whimsical, and lust, being Mother Nature's favorite child, is doubly so. One can't tell when and where this force may hit someone. In the realm of lust, everything is allowed. Lust is a primeval instinct, an animal spirit that cannot be controlled by reason and morality, and hence it is constantly in battle with the civilized, sophisticated mind conditioned by logic, reason, and morality. Regardless of all that, lust is also a raw material for passion, sensuality, and love, all of which are refined attributes of raw lust, through sublimation, of course. These attributes have an element of lust in them, but in a much refined sense, and they actually enhance lust, not diminish it. For minds full of lust, triggers could be anything. Any pleasurable sensory input can evoke lustful feelings. Could be beautiful and inviting eyes, gestures, bodily movements, bodily adornments, or lack thereof, particular colors in nature, a soothing rainfall, cool wind, moonlight. It can be anything. In paintings, suggestive poses of models can tell the artist's true intentions. Some poses do come across as provoking the feelings of desirous lust in the viewers. As a body grows into adolescence, the sweet feelings of sexual urges overtake the until now playful childlike mind. Mind starts wandering around aimlessly, imagining fantasies around those urges. This is the start of lust as the body grows to sexual maturity. Bodily maturity does not equate the maturity of mind, and herein lies the conflict. In adolescence, lustful urges completely overtake the thinking mind, which is exactly the design of Mother Nature. Many cultures celebrate this bodily maturity and these urges by various means, and even provide a socially safe way for sublimation. But largely keeping in mind that wanton adolescent desires could be destructive for cohesive social structure, society frowns upon those desires. Libertine minds may argue for free expression of lust as a nature's bounty, a life force that brings about vitality and joy to the life. Then why shouldn't one enjoy it? On the other hand, moral and religious minds reprimand any such ideas and advocate control of bodily lust. In many religions across different cultures, lust is denounced as one of the sins that corrupt the righteous mind, drifting it away from a virtuous path. Moralist minds warn of social implications of unbridled lust, and they are not wrong either. This conflict has continued from old ages and probably will continue in future. Surprisingly, youthful, lustful minds do not pay attention to what wise minds have to say about lust, minds who have already been through that phase. Hence, conflict between youthful and older minds continues. Being one of the strongest forces of Mother Nature, lust cannot be controlled by any social inhibitions or conventions. It has its own course. Of course, less inhibited minds seek more pleasures. Suppression of lust by any means does not work. Rather, one has to figure out appropriate way for sublimation of this powerful desire. Suppression would just lead to aberration and perversion, a vital positive energy source turning violent and destructive. Lust should be expressed casually and naturally, like a slow stream of water, should not be held back lest a torrent is formed and will bring about destruction. Lust is individualistic. It is up to an individual how to handle or satisfy one's lust. If exposed to onlookers, self-respecting individuals can lose the sense of dignity when seen satisfying oneself. That's the taboo attached to satisfaction of lust, that it should be private and never be seen by others. Civility of mind commands this to be a very private affair. Lust, although individualistic, is dependent on others for its fulfillment, either real or imagined. In either way, lust leads to dependence and hence robs us of our inner sense of freedom as well. So caution against lust is not completely unwarranted. In the modern world, every visual is created to incite the sense of lust in various degrees to sell products. It's impossible to escape this all-pervading imagery, no matter how hard one tries, so one might as well give in to it. Lust should be enjoyed playfully and mindfully, not with rigidity of conventions, and certainly not with a sense of any form of guilt. Lust of the sober minds is far better than those of inebriated minds, minds that have lost control over their senses. My belief is lust is more enjoyable when the mind is aware and is in control of senses. Mind losing control to lust is a disaster in waiting. One has to be aware not to let this happen and stop the mind from falling into lechery. Mindful lust that is not harmful to anyone in any way, including oneself, is always better. Also, one should not confuse lust with love. Lust is an animal spirit that is instinctual and purely biological. Love is much above all this. Again, mindful lust is good, lechery is bad. Lechery is the mind enslaved by lust. One last word. Lust has a short life, but it is good at resurrecting again and again. And thank you for your attention.